The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
Here we go. Talkin' Buds Leaf Show post-game edition. If you were to look at a chart of my vibes in the last 24 hours, this thing would be like up, down, left, right, sideways. I was not in a good place last night after the Florida game. There were times during this Tampa game I was in a good place, times where I wasn't in a good place, and then it spikes at the end when the lightning killer, Matt Knies, completes the hat trick and the Leafs win an OT to further build on their lead in the Atlantic Division and try their damnness to complete the task that we all need them to complete, which is avoiding the Florida Panthers in round one. Holy shit, I am wound up to start this episode.
Yeah, that was a fucking awesome game.
That was an awesome game,
That was
dude.
an incredible hockey game, and that game was a fight to the death to try and avoid the Florida Panthers in the first round. That's
The
what that
Florida
game
Panthers
was.
have struck fear into the hearts of both of these teams that they're out there just waging a war. That was a playoff style game tonight. There were people online today that were calling this the biggest regular season game in the history of this era of Leaf hockey. And if you sit back and think, like, why is that? It's because we all know what will happen if they play the Florida Panthers in round one.
Yeah, I've been on it. I think for them to actually accomplish something by winning the division is underestimated. I think it's really important, and I really want them to do it. And tonight was a must-win hockey game. It was
Yes.
must win. You didn't win in
Yes.
regulation, but I don't care. It was a must win game. Win at all costs. If you walk out of Florida with 1 point or 0 points, that would have been a fucking disaster. So it was a must win. And I mean, I still don't feel great about the way they get these games done sometimes. I still don't feel great about how they play tonight in regarding to playoff style hockey. But I mean, when your youngest, best player goes out and calls the team soft, and then goes out and just puts on a performance like that, I think that was arguably the best performance of anyone in a Maple Leaf uniform not named the core four. That was fucking awesome.
I don't give a rat's ass what this guy asked for in the offseason. I'm fucking giving it to him. Like, signed. Tell me where to sign, Matthew Knies. I'll sign anywhere you want. I completely agree with you. The guy comes out last night, says what needs to be said. We were soft, and he was the leader. He was the leader tonight.
How many times this year have we been like, why don't they just come out in the media, admit what they've been doing wrong and how they need to change it? And that's exactly what he did. And I heard some people make some comments today about it that I didn't love. Like, you don't want to be hearing the word soft. It's like, no, this is actually what I've been asking for the top players on this team, to take accountability for their soft play and say they're going to do something different. What is it? 23-year-old goes out tonight and does that. It's like, what a fucking performance. That is just something that hasn't happened with this team and anybody on this team.
He is at or near the top of the most important players on this team. And he just, I can't say it. Listen, I was in a dark place after the game last night watching them. I just was sitting there going, there's no chance that they are beating the Florida Panthers in a playoff series. No chance. And you look at the core guys, and once again, and I just want to be clear. I'm talking about Matthews, Marner, and Nylander here. You look at those three guys in a playoff style game, and it's just very clear, especially when you look at the Florida Panther matchup specifically, that the Florida Panthers are just willing to do things and are bought into playing a certain way that these guys, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. They just don't want to play that way. They don't. Like
They don't
they're
know
just
how.
not. They don't know how. They're just not. Yeah. The Florida Panthers are so committed to the way that they check that it takes away all breathing room out there. And all three of those guys just have no idea how to function when you suffocate them like that. They have no clue.
That team is the best forechecking/checking team I've ever seen. Like it's just the amount, because if you really think about forechecking and checking in your own end, it all comes down to effort at the end of the day and being willing to commit to the level of effort that needs to be committed in order to play that style. And they they stifle you. They dump the puck in. They're all over you. They're fast. They have guys who can finish. They have defense who can move the puck. It's really impressive watching that team play hockey, and I think it's absolutely paramount that they avoid that team in the first round at all costs.
And so, and we're not saying that they're just going to run over Ottawa or whoever. That's not what we're saying. But we're saying
what we're saying is one series is going 7 games, one series is going 4.
We're saying I believe in a matchup against Ottawa, they have a chance. I don't think they have a.
No,
there is zero chance that they are beating the Florida Panthers in a playoff series. Zero.
Agreed.
Anyways, back to my original point. The 3 core guys, they don't want to play that way. And that's what makes the Panthers such a terrible matchup. And so you have this kid who's really come into his own this season and has become a part. I've said it all year that this guy is a pillar of this team's future. And for him to come out and say what he said after that game last night and to come out and back it up with the way he played tonight, it gives me so much hope, because I think we all believe, barring them going on some sort of miracle, magical run here through April and May, the DNA of this team is finally going to look different as we head into next season. And Matt Knies is an absolute staple and will be a key piece of whatever the next iteration of the core will be. 100. I cannot say enough about him. He's my favorite hockey player.
Yeah, he's got 30 goals, or he's got 29 goals. Like what a season.
So they start this game, and I thought obviously they're way better in the first period tonight than they were throughout the whole game last night. And I thought the first line looked really good to start the game. Marner looked good. Matthews looked good. And then as I thought as the game went on and the intensity got dialed up, those guys did what they do and they sort of faded into the background.
But at the same time, you gotta watch it a little bit. Both guys had 3 points tonight. Like I know you like to rag on them, but at the end of the day, Matthews and Marner are walking in that game with 3 points each. So, I mean...
no, listen. I thought Matthews and Marner started the game really well. Yeah. They started the game really well. That line started like a house on fire. There's no two ways about it. I thought they looked really good. But as the game wore on, I felt they kind of faded into it a little bit, and they became less and less noticeable.
The problem with those guys is just they're not over a shift-to-shift basis over a game. They're not a dominant line. They're not going to hem teams in. They're not going to do all the things that the top line of the Florida Panthers are going to do. They're going to basically wait all game for an opportunity, and once that opportunity comes, they have to cash. And if they don't cash, then they're not going to win. So tonight, it's like, even though there were some shifts where I thought Marner was doing too many dances near the blue line and turnovers were almost caused, and I thought Matthews actually worked pretty hard tonight. I thought he forechecked. I thought he backchecked. I thought he kind of did everything, but that line is just not going to be dominant shift over shift. They're just going to have to cash on their opportunities, and it's frustrating at times to watch them. But at the end of the day, I don't really want to fault them after tonight, because they're the 2 guys walking away with 3 points and a big win. So I mean, you do that in a playoff game, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, I should clarify. I'm really wound up right now. This is why I avoid post-game shows, Ryan, because I don't have time to collect my thoughts, and I come on here and I'm fired up and I'm overly emotional. And so, to be clear, I thought they were good. When you compare Matt Knies took his game to a level tonight that I'm dying to see out of some of these other guys. It's just you were gonna have to kill him to beat him tonight, and that is something I've said about this core group over and over again that we don't see all that often. Is just this like burning desire. I am not losing this hockey game.
Yeah,
and that is what Matt Knies brought to the table tonight.
Yeah, no, it's a fair criticism, and Nylander's a fair criticism too because he's pointless in both games in Florida. And I thought he had some chances to score tonight. I thought he had a couple chances, but yeah, it's he fell into the background a little bit against two more elite teams.
This NHL season has been as predictable as a puck rolling on its edge. No one knows where it's going, but that just means there's time for your favorite team to figure things out. And games left for you to get in the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL.
It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
If you ever needed proof that so much of this game is mental, just look at the way they started the game tonight and look at the way they played throughout against Tampa versus how they looked for the whole 60 minutes last night against Florida. Their history with Tampa and just knowing they can beat them and knowing they've done it before, they look like a completely different hockey team. There's an element of, I don't want to say fear. They looked timid against the Florida Panthers, and they did not look timid tonight. They looked like we know how to beat you. We've beaten you before. This team is not afraid of Andrei Vasilevsky.
No.
They know how to score on him.
And I think it's also just it's the conversation we had a couple weeks ago was who would you rather play in the playoffs? And you said Tampa. And it's for this reason. It was a track meet tonight in a lot of ways. And even though I thought Tampa overall kind of outplayed them throughout the entirety of the game with a lot more shot attempts, and the Leafs did an amazing job blocking shots, but you can create a track meet against a Kucherov line. Like you play Florida, that's just not going to happen. Like the chances are just so few and far between. And then they also have an elite goalie in the net too. So it's like you're not getting more than two off that team. And then they're also just going to suffocate you defensively and offensively. So I mean, I think even though they can't really play Tampa now because of the way the standings have worked out, but yeah, I think it's just stylistically the best matchup for them in terms of they'll be able to have a track meet. And then when they get the opportunity to score and they score, that's when they win. They can't win forechecking, dumping and chasing and winning puck battles and being heavy on the forecheck because they don't know how to play like that. And they never will.
No,
they never will.
Well, and this is what I mean when I went on my rant earlier about the three core guys. Like in the National Hockey League, your best players are your identity. How your best players play and conduct themselves and what they do on the ice is what ends up being your team's identity. And you just look in contrast. You look at these two games, right? Last night, you're playing a team that is so committed to checking and defense and just being heavy, finishing checks, making life difficult. And it's just a terrible matchup for this team. It's a terrible matchup for how they're constructed. It's a terrible matchup for the DNA of their top players. And then you look at Tampa, like you just said, it was a track meet. It's like Tampa Tampa, when they were winning their cups, was a lot heavier and a lot dirtier of a team than they are now. Now they've sort of changed their identity and they're a much more like chance for chance. We're going to try and outskill you type opponent. And the Leafs just match up well against them. And that's why when you look at a potential matchup, listen, the Ottawa Senators are not going to be a cakewalk. No one is sitting here saying the Leafs are going to walk through the Ottawa Senators. Anyone who's watched this Leaf team in playoff hockey knows that's not happening. But they just match up better with Ottawa than they do with Florida.
And it's not even a Leaf thing. I think the whole league wants to stay away from Florida. I don't think any team wants to play Florida. Who wants to play Florida? Like they're arguably maybe the best hockey team I've ever seen. Most complete. Like they're just built for playoff hockey.
Why are the Florida Panthers like that? Because Alexander Barkov and Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Bennett all set that tone.
Yeah.
And it permeates through their room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my point. Your best players are your identity as a hockey team. And I think that's why, there's been all kinds of, I didn't think that we were going to get so like holistic and profound in this post-game show, but here we are. I guess it's because we're technically doing a 2-game post-game show, but there's been a lot of criticism this year of Craig Berube and what style has he brought to the table? And he wants them to play dump and chase, but the team is not built for dump and chase. And I think at the end of the day, like that's the truth. Like he's trying to implement, or has tried. It's ship sailed now. We're fucking 3 games away, 4 games away from the playoffs. He tried to implement a system that the core group just isn't. That's not their game. Like Mitch Marner is not dumping the puck in and then going and hitting somebody to get it back.
No.
Austin Matthews, no matter how big he is not dumping in the puck and going and hitting somebody to get it back. Same thing with William Nylander, man. So it's just, it's this weird sort of clash of styles that has happened with the coach and the core players of this team. And I think that's why at times it is frustrating to watch them, because they don't get in on the forecheck. They don't hem teams in. They don't cycle. They don't they come over the blue line and they look at, like you said earlier, they look for an opportunity. And if they get an opportunity, they have to bury it.
And they're never going to play like that. Like it just just get over it at this point. They're never going to play like that. I really like Craig Berube. I think he's a good dude. I think he's kind of the right guy for this team. But I think if you were to grade his ability to change the system of this hockey team over this 82-game season, I think it's a failure. I think they look pretty much the exact same as they have every single year. And the problem, I mean, like tonight, you look at tonight, I thought for the most part, I would want more out of them defensively and also hem the other team in a little bit more. But when Marner and Matthews are walking away with 3 points each and Matthew Knies gets a hat trick, like that's how they're going to win. But the problem is when they get in the playoffs, they stop doing that. It's like all of a sudden those opportunities that they cash in the regular season, they just can't cash in the playoffs because the opportunities aren't there as much. And also just like guys haven't clutched up and found another way to try to get it done.
And it's also like I was talking about the mental side of things earlier. This team mentally is so fragile. Like they start the game tonight and they're on fire. They're taking it to Tampa. They're like, how many chances did they have in the first 10 minutes? Like tons, right? Yeah. And then they get up 2 goals and they sit back. And they sit back and they stop taking it and they let Tampa take it to them. And then they get into scramble mode in the defensive zone. And then they don't really do anything offensively. And then it takes Tampa coming back to tie it. And they finally go, oh shit. And then they start kicking it into gear again offensively and they score goals. They're so fragile mentally.
Yeah. I mean, I just they do give up too much defensively. Like there's no 2 ways about it. Like when even though it was tonight was a big win, I think watching that game, like I still didn't feel uber confident about their ability to turn it on and start playing playoff hockey.
Do you think they give up too much defensively though? Because they're not taking it to Tampa. They're just kind of sitting back. Like they're allowing Tampa to dictate what's happening.
But I also feel I feel like it's also that like what we've been talking about all episode. I think it also has to do with their offensive game too. It's like They want to have a track meet. They want to go down. They want to get a quick opportunity, and they're going to bury it a lot. But when you don't bury it, the puck moves fast the other way, and guys are caught. And then all of a sudden, there's a 3-on-2 going the other way, and other teams just seem maybe it's just Leaf bias. Maybe another fan base could chime in here and say, no, this is actually how every team plays for a portion of every game. But I think pretty much every good team they play in this league, they get hemmed. It seems like they get hemmed in more than they hem the other team in. Like it's just that's what it seems like to me. I could be totally wrong. The numbers might say wrong. Maybe it's biased, but that's how I feel when I watch them play.
Well, and you're right. I think teams that we would consider cup contenders.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Blue Jackets here.
Yeah. Our teams that get in on the forecheck and like cycle and like are difficult and check,
heavy and are like kind of big and mobile defense.
Like if we were gonna sit here and make a list of teams that we think realistically can win the Stanley Cup, I bet you they all have that in common. Some more than others. Like I think the Florida Panthers are an extreme example of this. Like I think you're right. I'm sitting here going, they're a bad matchup. They're a bad matchup. They're a fucking bad matchup for everybody.
Yeah. Nobody wants to play them.
Absolutely nobody.
So I think so good that you just don't care where you finish in the standings. You're just like, we're just gonna sit everyone.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. And home ice doesn't matter. Yeah, home ice doesn't matter. So yeah, they're an extreme example. But yeah, that's how teams win, especially in the playoffs, man. Like when that's how you win 16 games in the playoffs. That's how you do it. Is by making life miserable on your opponent. You don't win a Stanley Cup by scoring pretty goals.
No, you don't.
No. The evidence of that is overwhelming.
Yeah, especially with this group.
Yes. I thought Anthony Stolarz was really good again tonight. I think it's Joe Wall was good last night too, but I think it's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered that Anthony Stolarz will be the starting goaltender.
They did an incredible job of getting bodies in front of pucks tonight. They blocked a hell of a lot of shots, and everybody was doing it. It was Morgan Riley doing it. It was Benoit doing it. It was Tanev doing it. It was Matthews doing it. It was everybody in on the effort tonight to get in front of pucks, but there shouldn't be that many pucks to get in front of. They need to lessen the amount of pucks that are being thrown at their net so they can block less shots and they can also save their goaltender a little bit.
Another thing that's coming into light here, Ryan, like I look at this bottom six personnel and it's like
it's bad. It's not good.
I saw someone on Twitter tonight that said I'd be good with them bringing back like two guys max from this bottom six and redoing this whole thing again next year, and I tend to agree. Like you look at you go through it name by name.
Yeah, Tree Living, you gotta. He did not address the bottom six. He did
no. Well, he tried to, and he got absolutely fleeced by Danny Briere because Scott Lawton is terrible.
They got forced into making a deal for a guy who I don't even know what his identity is. Like it seemed like they just had to go out and get a guy who just fit the mold of a bottom six player, but it's just like he hasn't fit in at all. And now it seems like their bottom six is like worse than ever.
They're just not a factor offensively.
Yeah, they've no
like
identity.
They can go.
No,
exactly.
Identity. They're not. They don't score. They don't check. They're not big. They're not tough.
Yeah,
like it's just. Like Max Domi's out there doing his best. We got Nick Robertson trying to give Tampa Bay goals all night. That guy with the puck on his stick at his own end is an absolute nightmare show. Oh my God. In the Florida game, in the game tonight, this guy, unless he has a clean cut opportunity to shoot the puck into the other team's net, he is a liability defensively.
Well, I said that tonight. I was like, this guy, all the stuff we say about, you might want him in the lineup in the playoffs because he could score a goal. It's like he will not be in the lineup
score enough.
if he keeps giving the puck away in his own end like this. It will not happen.
The one against Florida where he tried to do that little touch pass on the power play and Marchand went the other way for a breakaway. It's like, holy crap! Are you trying to go into the press box? Well, are you just forcing Berube to put you in the press box? Like that's a terrible play, man.
Well, he also did the little self pass behind the net that ended up working, and then O-Dog buried him in the intermission.
Yeah.
He was like, "Who do you think you are, Wayne Gretzky? Like, what are you doing?"
And then tonight he's got the puck on the wall, and he's just hanging onto it and hanging onto it and hanging onto it, and eventually turns backwards into his own into the end boards, and then he gets stripped, and then they're stuck in the red for like 3 minutes because of this bonehead decision he made to not move the puck in a safe area. It's like, dude, you don't do yourself any favors when you're making plays like this, man. Holy crap.
We've been singing his praises all episode, but yeah, point being, like, you look at their bottom six and it's like anyone not named Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander that is going to score a goal for them is named Knies and McMahon, because I don't see anyone
now McMahon's
else.
Gone cold. It's like now he's off that. Now that top six that was set in stone, he got kicked off that line, and now he's got doesn't have a point in his last like 7 games or something.
Well, I don't understand that. Like, that line was playing really well. It's like, okay, they had a bad night against Florida. Everybody had a bad night against Florida. Like, why are we putting Callie Yarncroc couldn't score a goal if his life depended on it. Yeah. So what are we doing? Elevating of all guys, we're elevating Callie Yarncroc, but then, like I said, you look down at the rest of the bottom six. Who the hell else is he going to put up there?
No one else. There's McMahon.
No
That's
one.
it. No one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where line is tough, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like a fourth line's a fourth line. Like there's only so many teams with a great fourth line that's contributing and has a great identity. So it's like, yeah, I always have a pass with the fourth line. It'd be nice to get a contribution, but whatever. That third line just has it's just Max Domi and a bunch of dudes. Like I don't it doesn't look good. It's not great.
Yeah, and he tried. He tries. Max Domi tries, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, buddy. Well, I came on here and I don't even remember anything I said in this whole episode.
It was a great, let's just put a positive spin on it. Like, it was a great win. Like that. Yeah. Like, I am proud of them for getting to further their buffer, and now it's all in their hands. They had a tough loss against Florida, but you kind of were expecting they were going to come to Florida and they were going to lose one and win one. Like that's what they had to do. And Florida lost like 5 in a row. They were due to come back and have a great game. So I'd flush that game. Priority number 1 is to just continue to extend your lead in this division and stay away from that team in the first round. Yeah. That is number 1. And tonight, no matter what you think of them, I think you can walk away feeling really good that they got a clutch W, and they had a guy who called the team soft and came out and got a hat trick. Like that's also awesome. Like that's what we've been asking for. Someone with an attitude like that and could back it up. So I think tonight I'm walking away happy all around.
100% agree, buddy. 100% agree. So they've got another back-to-back coming up this weekend. They've got the Montreal Canadiens, who are red hot, wheeling into Scotiabank Arena, and then the next night, I know, and then the next night,
Montreal Canadiens.
Right.
I hate them.
Well,
I hate the Montreal Canadiens.
So you know what's funny is I do not hate the Montreal Canadiens as much as I hate the Ottawa Senators.
I totally disagree. I
hate the Ottawa Senators.
I would way rather root for the Ottawa Senators than root for the Montreal Canadiens. Can't stand that franchise.
Well, they're wheeling in here red hot. They'll be at Scotiabank Arena Saturday night, and then on Sunday the Leafs are in Raleigh to play the Hurricanes.
Back to back.
I know. It's insane. It's insane.
And why do they only play Carolina at 5 p.m.? Why is that the only team they play at 5 p.m.?
I don't know, but it's also the Masters this weekend, so we may be having a 2-screen experience depending on how that goes on Sunday. Do you think it'll be wrapped up by 5 o'clock or no?
Masters?
Yeah.
No. It'll still be you'll be in the finishing holes in that point.
No. All right, so we might have a 2-screen experience going on Sunday. Yeah. So based on this, we will be back on Monday. We won't be back on Sunday for our usual episode, obviously, because they play on Sunday. So we will be back on Monday to talk about the weekend and to see where everything stands at that point in time. I think the key thing for them is you got to get, like, how many points do you think you need to take in this back-to-back on the weekend?
At least 2.
Yeah, at least 2. Like, yeah, you need to win one of these games.
One of these games. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. So,
you gotta,
like I
you
said,
gotta go like, I don't know. Like you gotta have their record over the past like 13 games is actually incredible when you look at it. So, I mean, I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to do what they've been doing, and I think they're actually going to close it out and win this division.
let's hope so. We will be back on Monday to discuss it, and then we're literally just over a week away from the playoffs.
So scared, but I'm so ready.
Yeah. Ryan and I will be here for post-game shows after every single Leaf playoff game. So if you'd like to join us for that, hit the like and subscribe button below. If you're listening to the audio version, please do the same.
Spread the word. Tell your friends.
We really appreciate it. We will see you guys on Monday.